Oh boy. So it looks like the women who have went through their whole entire life worrying about what light-skinned women are up to, looks like they got a hold of my channel and they're not so happy at the previous videos. And so it just made me think. It made me really sit down and just think, okay, fine. Let me just listen to their argument, right? But black men are colorists. Black men are colorists. I think the reason why it never really bothered me is because I'm not a narcissist that expects everyone to like me and be into me. Unpopular opinion, I do not believe that people's dating preferences can be colorist. And I'm going to explain why. People are entitled to like or have a specific type or even a fetish for whatever they like. So if a man wants to only like a light skinned woman, he's in his right to do that, and he should not be shamed or called a colorist for doing that. You guys are all okay when a man only likes dark skinned women. Okay? When a man only has eyes for dark skinned women, you guys are okay with that, but he can't only like light skinned women. It's almost like you just don't want light skinned women to be liked. And that's not how the world works. Trying to police what someone chooses to date, it just never made sense to me. And that's why I kind of compared that community to femcels, because it's low key giving femcel energy. I don't see the harm in someone, having a specific type or a preference visually. Like, so, a lot of women, they want taller guys, and that's their prerogative. Some men prefer, women who are in shape. That's their prerogative. I just feel like when it comes to dating and someone's personal preference, I don't think people have the right to try to police and shame them out of liking what they like. I want to also call out the hypocrisy too with this. We see this with the body positivity community. It's like you're okay when a man likes bigger women, but he can't like slim women, or that's discriminating. And we see this too with a lot of chocolate women, the hypocrisy. It's like it's only colorism when he prefers a lighter skinned woman, but if he prefers you, oh, it's not colorism and it's okay. And this is why we compare it to femcel behavior and trying to just basically pressure people into wanting you. Someone's dating choices does not need to be a political stance. I don't think there should be shaming words like calling men colorists for preferring what they prefer. Or even if a man, prefers somebody who's slim, we shouldn't call that fat phobic. Like, why are we shaming someone's dating choices? How is that harming you? Now, and what can harm you, well, if you can't get job opportunities, for example, because of your skin complexion, that's colorist. But like, if a black man is into light skinned women, how does that affect you? There's so many other men, black men, that are into chocolate women. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Everybody is entitled to like what they like. And there should not be shaming words, but black men are colorists. I really started thinking, like, wait, why is there even a shaming word for what someone prefers to date? Like, that whole concept just doesn't make sense to me. Like, for someone's dating choice, someone's dating preference should not be some political stance. It's none of your business, quite frankly, what some man, prefers. How is that any of your business? There's a bunch of men that like chocolate women, focus on that. But no, they can't. They always, but black men, look at those black men that like light skinned girls. That's all they focus on. And what about it? And if a black man likes light skinned chicks, what about it? He's entitled to, and there's nothing wrong with that. He shouldn't be called a colorist for that. Like, it's okay when you're liked, but it's not okay when anybody else besides you is liked. Let's step back and analyze this whole colorism when you're using it in terms of someone's dating choices. Last time that I checked, just like how dark-skinned women want to be admired in your man's eyes or whatever, and you want to make sure that you're his type, why can't light-skinned women have that same thing? Light-skinned women deserve for a man to only want her and, only idolize light-skinned women and only fantasize about light-skinned women too. It's called a preference. I don't see the issue in an individual person having a preference. Like, you're cool when you meet men that only like dark skinned women, but as soon as he only likes light skinned women, now it's a problem. It's okay for everybody to prefer you as a chocolate woman. But as soon as someone has their preference and it's not you, now you're acting like a toddler. Now you're throwing a tantrum. Now you have all these shaming words, these buzzwords. It's not fair. I don't think that black men who are into light skinned women should have a label and be called colorist. Someone's dating choices is none of your concern. That's none of your business. Who cares? People are gonna like what they like. It's a very childish argument. Like, unless you're polygamous, why even care about what somebody else likes? You know, you should only be concerned with the one man that you're with that's into you. Who cares what the next man is doing? You know, women too. I mean, you guys do that all day long. You guys, I grew up hearing black women say the most craziest things. Oh, I only want babies with a light skinned man so my babies can come out mixed with good hair and light skin. I've heard black women say that. I've heard black women discriminate against height, make fun of short men. You call light skinned men pretty boys, soft. So cut the victim role out. You know how a lot of these women want taller men. Okay, should somebody call you heightus? Are you a heightus? Would you prefer all of these labels just because of what you like? A lot of black women prefer a certain skin complexion. Should we start calling you a colorist? Like, how would you feel? It doesn't make sense, right? You only use that word to your advantage, but y'all do the same thing. Most people who date are going to discriminate in some way. People like what they like. It shouldn't be a label for it. Don't get in my comment section talking about, but no, it's colorism because they're making fun of, the women that they don't prefer. And you guys do too. And you guys do too. Short man syndrome. You laugh all day at short men. Oh, short men energy. Light skinned boys are too soft. They're too feminine. You guys do too. Cut that out. This is why nobody's taking you seriously. Light skinned women are women too that deserve to be the apple in their man's eye. Light skinned women deserve for men to admire their skin complexion just as much as how you deserve it. So when they say black men are colorist, for some of them liking lighter skinned women, if that's the case, everyone that has a type is colorist, right? It's like the talking points are just extremely hypocritical. It's like it's okay when you do it, it's a problem when they do it. It's only okay when men like dark skinned chicks, right? It's not colorist. Nope. But if he only likes light skinned chicks, then he's colorist. See, a lot of these chicks just regurgitate what they heard the next 500 black women say. They don't stop and think things for themselves. This is why a lot of people make fun of them online and, they get called hyenas or the basic sisterhood. And people make fun of the fact that you can just predict their arguments. Like, I already know, if someone chooses to react to this video, I already know what they're going to say. You guys have no individual critical thinking skills for yourself. You just heard what the next chick said and just rolled with it and didn't even think about it. It's like the dumb leading the dumb and the blind leading the blind. If one low IQ chick comes out and makes a statement, here comes 50 other, hyenas flocking behind her, regurgitating. They don't even stop and think about what they're saying. And then in the next video, they'll talk about all the things that they prefer in a man. Oh, yeah, a man with a bunch of money. Oh, you're discriminating against poor men. Oh, that's discrimination against poor men. Oh, you want a taller man? That's discrimination. Technically, by you guys' definition, everybody should have a label and everybody's technically discriminating if they have a specific preference. It's okay when they have a preference. It's a problem when you have a preference. These same chicks that go on all day about all black men are colorists, in the next breath, they're talking about hypergamy and how they only want a rich millionaire white guy. That's discriminating against 98% of the population. Nobody's taking you seriously. It's very clear that you're just bitter and you're a femcel, just trying to pressure people into liking you. You don't even follow the guidelines that you place on other people. Then you be open to dating anyone. Don't have a type. Just be open to dating anyone. You know what I mean? So men who like dark-skinned women, they don't get shamed. It's okay. It gets praised. But if a man only likes light-skinned women, it's a sin. He's colorist. It's shameful. We're going to ridicule him. That makes no sense. Because according to these channels that are trying to argue my talking points, that's basically what they're saying. Why does men that only like light-skinned chicks, why do we even call that colorist? It's a preference, it's a type. That's what everyone has. Just as much as how you want to feel beautiful, the next chick deserves to feel beautiful too. White women deserve to feel beautiful. Mexicans deserve to feel beautiful. Light-skinned chicks deserve to feel beautiful. Indian chicks deserve to feel beautiful. Dominican chicks deserve to feel beautiful. Why should it only be you? So you're the only one that can feel beautiful. But if any other woman gets glorified or idolized, oh, they're colorist. But black men do like light skinned women. But y'all literally go through your whole entire life worrying and just counting. I feel like at this point, you guys literally just count the amount of men that like light skinned women. And see, I never went through my whole life worrying about what light skinned women were doing. I only worried about the men that were in my face and the men that wanted me. This isn't some type of competition. Once you stop worrying and counting how many men the light skinned women are getting, right? Then you can see that there's actually a large plethora of men in the black community that are into chocolate women. I mean, don't we all watch the show Pop the Balloon, for example? In every episode, it is almost several men talking about, no, I don't want you. I like dark skinned girls. No, I don't want you. I like chocolate girls. Oh. And that's the thing. You guys worship money, right? So, yeah, high earning men, high earning black men. And going back to it, I started really thinking since they forced this down our throat, oh, they're colorists, they're colorists, they're colorists. I really started analyzing it. Most people have their thing. So some guys like girls, blonde hair, blue eyes. Some guys like chocolate women. Some guys like light skinned women. See, when it comes to someone's dating choices, they have every right to choose what they want to choose. It's not illegal to like what they like. But see, you can use colorism in different contexts and it'll make sense. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, for example, in the workplace, most companies, I think it is illegal to discriminate against skin tone or disabilities and stuff like that. So, yeah, situations where you are unable or it is illegal to have a physical preference would be like in the workplace. Okay? That's when you can scream colorism.
If no one's gonna say it, then I'm going to say it. A lot of dark-skinned women project their insecurities and blame everything on colorism, although a lot of the time it's not colorism. And what this has done is desensitize people to colorism to the point where when we now need to speak about colorism in a time where it matters, no one's trying to hear us because everyone's fucking tired of this colorism conversation. If you're a dark-skinned woman and you break up with your boyfriend and your boyfriend now goes to a light-skinned girl, there'll be a whole conversation about it. Oh my god, he's a colorist. He never liked dark-skinned girls in the first place. Or maybe he just didn't like you. If a light-skinned girl is now mean to a dark-skinned girl, oh, it's because she's a colorist. She thinks that she's superior to the dark-skinned girl. Who fucking said that? Because it wasn't fucking her. Oh my god, this one pissed me off. Even recently, I seen a TikTok of two dark-skinned women basically saying that they're convinced that black men do not like dark-skinned girls. They are convinced it is a myth that black men like dark-skinned girls because black men haven't gone to them. So therefore, black men must just not like dark-skinned girls. What are you talking about? Colorism is actually a serious topic and people are just taking it for anything, to put in it in any context. Colorism is something that's serious. There's opportunities that I might not be able to get because of my skin color that a lighter skinned person would be able to get because of her skin color. For example, in the industry that I am in, it is a lot more likely if you're a light skinned person to get further in the industry rather than if you're a dark skinned person trying to get further in the industry. These are the things we need to talk about when it comes to colorism. These are the things we need to talk about as dark-skinned women when it comes to colorism. I don't give a fuck if Tululupe in Nigeria doesn't like me because I'm dark-skinned. I don't give a damn. Okay? I don't give a damn. There's so many other issues we need to talk about when it comes to colorism. There's so many opportunities that us dark-skinned girls don't get simply because we are dark-skinned and we should be fighting to get them opportunities. But if we're looking at colorism from a standpoint of, oh, but that's why this girl was mean to me because I'm dark-skinned. Oh, but that's why this guy didn't want me because I'm dark-skinned, then you need to get your priorities straight because there's bigger fights that we're fighting for. Because if we just bring everything into colorism, then when we're talking about the topics that fucking matter, like dark-skinned women being on fucking top, people are not trying to hear us. because we're always fucking talking about it in random topics. So if no one's gonna say it, then I'm gonna be the person to say it, because it seems there's fucking crickets. It seems there's fucking crickets, and everyone's not trying to talk about the shit that matters.
So, yeah, situations where you are unable or it is illegal to have a physical preference would be like in the workplace. Okay? That's when you can scream colorism. So, if you didn't get a job and you know for a fact, right? You know for a fact that you did not get that job due to your skin tone, that's colorism. But see, it's still even hard to measure colorism because you don't truly know if it's your skin tone. What if you didn't get the job because of your attitude? What if you didn't get the job because you didn't qualify? So colorism is one of those things where it is extremely hard to measure because it's so many factors that you have to consider before jumping to that conclusion. And see, that's why a lot of people they don't like me because that's how my brain works. I ask questions. I evaluate. I consider different possibilities before I just jump to a conclusion that the majority is saying. And so some people, it's funny because like when they browse my videos, like the titles, they say that I'm like rage baiting. I can see why they say that because since I stop and ask questions, I tend to not have the popular opinion. Like, usually, a lot of my opinions are very unpopular because I don't just go see what the majority is saying and then roll with it. No, I tend to have very unpopular and sometimes controversial opinions because I don't follow the leader. I ask questions, I evaluate before I make my statements. So I can totally see how somebody would come to my channel and think that I'm like rage baiting or whatever. Because yeah, my titles and what I talk about and like my theories, it's not really typical. You know what I mean? It's not repetitive like what the colorism conversation has been for many years. We've heard these talking points for many years. You guys are just dedicated to that crabs in a barrel bucket mentality, and it's like nobody's taking your plight away from you. We understand that you're invisible to a lot of men and men don't prefer you. What I was saying was it's unrealistic to think that that's every dark skinned woman's plight. It's not. That's all I'm saying. But they're like certain channels having a nervous breakdown. Their brain just can't comprehend. So they're dedicated to their plight of no, no, no. All the men like light skinned girls, but they do because they spent like almost a decade clocking, checking, analyzing, obsessing, foaming out the mouth over every light skinned chick, over every light skinned celebrity. So that's all you know. At this point, you done brainwashed yourself so much to only focus on what pookie rappers like Kodak Black and them, their preference, that it's literally a shock to your system when someone says, no, that's not everyone's preference. And actually, a good amount of men are into chocolate women. It's a shock. That's why they think my content is rage bait, because it's like they've been brainwashed for so many years. It's a shock to their system to hear a different opinion. So yeah, I just noticed that they struggle with a bit of a perception bias. So it's like they focus on all of the celebrities or pookies. They go out of their way to see like, oh, their type is light skinned chicks or Latina chicks or white chicks or whatever like that. But then they always conveniently ignore the other celebrities that are with beautiful chocolate women like LeBron James and etc. They ignore those. Like, even when celebrities do prefer chocolate women, oh, it's not good enough. Let's look at his income. Oh my gosh, he's not good enough. He's only making $500,000 a year. He's not a millionaire. Oh my gosh, well, he's not even tall. Well, shoot, he's not even perfect. He's not the perfect man, so it's not good enough. It's like you're dedicated to the self loathing, nobody wants me role. And I seen one person had said, like, a lot of men, they just prefer dark skinned women out of pity. Yep, this is what a dark skinned woman was telling her audience. She was telling her audience that men are usually not genuinely into them. Like, tell me you're projecting because men are not into you without telling me you're projecting. And even one man came into her comment section, and I'm gonna blur his name for privacy issues, but his icon It was him and his beautiful chocolate wife and the icon, and he said, "No pity here. My wife is a dime." Exactly. I see black men make comments like that all the time. I just read a comment just now where a black man was like, light skinned women are beautiful, but dark skinned women make my heart melt. They ignore comments like that to fit their narrative. But yeah, she told her audience that, black men only prefer dark skinned women out of pity. And, a lot of these women that think that they're the authoritative source on men, it's always men having to correct them in their comment section. How embarrassing. Imagine thinking you know men, or imagine projecting and men don't really want you, and then you're recruiting other women, and then men are like, not really. So yeah, she told her audience men only prefer dark skinned women out of pity. And, I was even around my man playing this, and even my man like made a cringe face like, that's disgusting. Why would you say that? That's not the truth. Y'all just walk around saying the most insecure things. You let the most disgusting and insecure things fly out of your mouth. You're dang if you do, dang if you don't. So if a dark skinned man is into you, oh, he's fetishizing you, oh, he's pitying you, oh, it's not genuine. At this point, that is not men's fault. That's how you feel about yourself at this point. Okay? That's my thing. Stop putting it all on the men. Now it's you. Because even when men do like you, oh, they don't make enough money. Oh, it's this, it's that. You just can't, your brain cannot accept that a man could be into you. It can't accept it. And it's sad. Like the excuses you guys come up with to kind of convince yourself out of a man genuinely preferring you as a chocolate woman or being attracted to you as a chocolate woman, it's truly sad to watch. I'm sorry that your parents didn't tell you you were beautiful enough as a child. I mean, it's just clear as day that your parents literally failed you. Even when someone does like you just don't believe it. You can't believe it. It's like, okay, when a man does prefer you, oh, but he's not a millionaire, so who cares? Oh, when a man does prefer you, oh, well, he's just saying that out of pity, so who cares? When a man does prefer you, oh, he's fetishizing you, so who cares? Some of you guys you're insufferable. It's like, dang if you do, dang if you don't. And see, that's that insecure victim mentality. Like I said, it's like a mental illness. You can't get anywhere with mentally ill people. You can't. It's like a person that loves to argue. You come with a solution and it's still not good enough. The women who make these talking points, I think that they're femcels in disguise because they don't actually care about real definitions of colorism, meaning when you're unable to discriminate in places like the workplace, things that are actually illegal. Like they don't really care about making a political stance over that. Everything goes back to what some man prefers. They want every man to choose them. That's what it's all about. And just call it for what it is. You don't actually care about real life colorism. Oh, and also, I wanted to say to the people that do not like the channels like myself that are like continuing on this conversation and talking about the other side to these conversations, you have some women who they look like they're well into their 30s and they put up this elementary act of like, why are we even talking about boys? I mean, boys stink. I mean, I don't even care about what men like. I don't even care what boys like. Like, this is not middle school. We are not in elementary school. If a person wants to have a conversation about men, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a straight woman. See, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm too cool for the girls or whatever. Y'all be swearing you don't care about men, but everything out your mouth is about a man. So at least I'm just real with myself. Okay? Like, cut that out. I seen a comment that said that, and I just think it's so corny and cringe. Like, if you're actually going to, put on that persona, like, I guess you're not worried about men, then don't talk about men at all. Then we can tell. But I mean, you're doing the same thing that I'm doing. Everything out your mouth, whether it's good or bad, it's still about a man. So you're no different than me. These women be trying to act like they're just so much more cooler because, like the elementary games, like, ew, boys stink. I mean, ew, we don't care about men. Ew, I could never have a conversation about men. Meanwhile, you're having a conversation about men. So cut that out. Also, I seen some comments where I guess some people feel like this conversation is just like petty or whatever. Um, feel what you want. I am entitled to continue the conversation and talk about the other perspective. These femcels got to hold the microphone for so long. Why can't I unpack more to the conversation? And so I'm noticing a lot of people are saying a bunch of men that like light skinned girls. It's a bunch. I think it's a good amount of men that like light skinned women, and it's also a good amount of men that also prefer chocolate women. You won't know that because you spend your whole life clocking and just worrying about what every light skinned chick is doing. That's why you don't have my perspective. See, you're listening to a chocolate woman, me, who did not spend my life checking and analyzing and clocking and obsessing over what light skinned women and also what pookie rappers and stuff like that, their preference. So that's why it's such a shock. My content, I know, I'm fully aware that I do not have the popular opinion. No, my channel, you don't click my channel and I'm telling you what everybody else is saying, because I stop and I think things through for myself. I don't allow the next person to tell me what it is and what it ain't. And I remember when I first came across the colorism content, I barely watched it, to be honest, because I can't relate to it. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm invisible? That does not make sense in my storyline. People swear me sharing my experience and my plight is me just coming up with tactics and stuff like that. No. I mean, I've said this in several videos. I hung out with a bunch of beautiful women and we got a lot of attention from celebrities and rappers. And we pretty much have all done a form of video vixen work. And I'm a chocolate girl. So believe me when I say I just cannot understand the woe is me. My life was not giving woe is me. And I refuse to let the next chick try to brainwash me like the crabs in the barrel bucket mentality. You're not going to brainwash me and kind of like pressure me and bully me and say I'm in denial. You're not going to brainwash me into believing something that isn't my plight is my plight. It's like, how are you going to tell the next chick what her plight is? Oh, you're just trying to be the token, or you're just trying to kiss up. Like, oh my goodness, you truly believe that you are unattractive, you and your counterparts are unattractive and on the bottom. You can't even fathom the opposite perspective. It's really sad. People that think everybody is manipulating, using tactics, please seek mental help. Please. That's not normal. It's not normal to live your life thinking everybody's out to get you, thinking everybody's trying to take you down and tear you down. Like, please. Why does everything have to be a tactic, a manipulation tactic? Why can't it just be me or, the dark skinned girls that do experience privileges? Why can't it just be us expressing our truth? See, they want all of us to be quote unquote on the bottom with them. If you can have your story of you being invisible, then I can speak my story of me not being invisible. How I'm going to come out as a dark skinned girl and say that I'm not invisible, and then you're telling me, oh no, but you are invisible. Like, it's literally the crabs in the barrel bucket mentality. Anyways, back to the topic of all of the rejects in the black community complaining about how black men don't want them. But, usually with a lot of these women, the truth is you look at them and you can kind of see why. If I was a man, I wouldn't want you either. Most men are just where the pretty women are. Okay? It's true. When you guys talk crap about men all day and you say things like, "Oh, men will mess with objects and men will put their thing in objects," and yeah, I mean it's kind of true to a certain extent. Like, it doesn't take that much for men to want to be with you or want you. The only time men won't are not really checking for you is if you're unattractive. That's how you can get ignored. That's like one of the reasons. So yeah, I'm sticking by what I said. Men are not that hard to please. Notice that it is making them crawl in their skin when we bring that mirror to their face and we go, listen, when we bring up that fact, men are not that hard to please. If you look halfway decent, they will be in your face giving you attention. You don't even have to look like a model. So if you are invisible, I have some bad news for you, okay? And it's not really your skin complexion. Okay? I got some bad news for you. Because that's the only type of people that they will ignore is if you are just unattractive. They don't like that talking point, but it's the truth.
Wait, is this just another conversation that we're not willing to have? Is this something that we all have to pretend that we don't see? Even under this comment, someone replied back with a dot dot dot. What are we dot dot dotting about? It's the truth. There's been so many times where a dark-skinned woman will be rejected from either society or from a guy, and instead of thinking, okay, maybe this guy is rejecting me because he doesn't find me attractive, they automatically assume the guy's a colorist. No, he's a colorist. He must not like dark-skinned girls. He doesn't like dark-skinned girls because he doesn't like me. But it's like, maybe he just doesn't like you. No, I know you're thinking it. I know you guys think this because literally sometimes it's not that the guys don't find dark-skinned girls attractive. It might just be they don't find dark-skinned girls that are ugly to them attractive. And I'm saying ugly to them because, listen, I'm dark-skinned and I could be absolutely butt ugly to someone watching it right now. But if someone's watching this right now and thinking, rah, Hope Lavina's ugly, I'm not then going to turn around and think, oh, fucking colorist, or is it because I'm dark-skinned, or is it because I'm from Manchester? Like, no, like, it's just because he looks at me and he thinks, ew, like, she butters. But sometimes it's, people might not find you attractive, not because you're dark-skinned, but because they genuinely find you ugly. Mind blown. Motherfucking mind blown.
It's almost like the body positivity community. You guys act like that, where it's like, listen, let the man like what he likes. Okay? Like I'm not gonna lie, I have heard men say, oh, I like light-skinned girls. That's cool, that's him. He can like that. Why is that even an issue? Like it's screaming hater. Even the men be agreeing with my talking points. I have men coming on my channel saying, girl, I've been trying to say this since 2010. You're saying everything I said since 2010. Exactly. None of these girls that preach these extremes, they don't have men on their channel agreeing because it's nonsense. You don't understand men like you think you do. Okay? Men are not that hard to please. Yes, people are going to have their types. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's everyone. Most people have a certain thing that does it for them. And to me, in my opinion, that's not colorist. I'm sorry. It's just the talking points to me make no sense at all. Light-skinned women deserve to have a man that only is infatuated with light-skinned women just as much as, like what you guys say. You know how you guys tell dark-skinned women to date men that are into them? Light-skinned women deserve that too. Why can't a light-skinned woman have a man that only likes light-skinned women? You know what I mean? Every woman deserves to feel beautiful and admired and be the apple in their man's eyes. That's not colorist. It's a dating preference. I know you guys don't like that word, but the men, when they were telling you that for years, when the men were telling you that, they low-key ate. That's why men come to my channel and they're like, we've been trying to explain this to them for years. I know you guys were explaining this to them. I give men their props. A lot of what I'm saying, the men been trying to tell you guys that for years. And the thing is, I don't get my talking points from them. It's just that I understand men. You guys don't understand men the way you think you do, and it's actually embarrassing. That's why they're always fighting with you in the comment section. You know, men don't come to my channel ready to fight because I understand them. The girls and the guys pretty much equally love me on my channel. If you have all only black women supporting what you're saying and then all black men disagreeing with you, fighting with you, you got to call them dusties every 5 seconds. Something is wrong there. They're trying to tell you that your talking points are not eating. You don't understand men the way you think you do. You're blaming everything on your skin tone. Meanwhile, you have a bad wig on, you're overweight, and you're unattractive. I don't know why it's not registering in their head. Everybody cannot be cute. It's okay. To what EU said, some of you guys spend your whole entire life policing who light-skinned women are dating and the men that they're getting. Do you even police your hygiene routine? Did you even perfect your hygiene routine? Does your cat smell good down there? I just don't believe that a woman could be on top of her stuff when you're too busy worrying about what other women are getting in their life? Some of these women will talk about men all day and act like they know men when they know nothing. And then when the actual men come in the comment section speaking against their talking points, they're arguing with them, they're overriding what the actual source is saying. Like, are you a man? That's so cocky. That's so cocky. For a man to come and be like, I'm a man and this is not true in large plethoras, and then you go, nope, this is what it is and this is what it ain't. I'm sorry, but if you are talking about men and you're like talking as if you're the authoritative source on men and none of them are agreeing with you, then something is wrong there. They all can't just be dusty haters. It's telling. Your talking points are not eating the way you think it is. You don't understand men the way you think you do. So, a lot of black women, from what I notice, they suffer from an extreme perception bias. A lot of these women were, they really emphasize that all 98% of black men, 90% of black men want a light skinned chick. They're suffering from perception bias. Okay, they are. They are. What that means is, and I'll translate it again, when you hear a black woman making it seem like all of black men want light skinned chicks, she's suffering from perception bias, which means all she does is worry about, fixate on, obsess over, and focus on what light skinned chicks are doing and who's dating the light skinned chicks and what men like the light skinned chicks. And she completely ignores the great plethora of men that are into chocolate women. That's what that means when you hear women make those talking points. Okay?
Oh my god, this one pissed me off. Even recently, I seen a TikTok of two dark-skinned women basically saying that they're convinced that black men do not like dark-skinned girls. They are convinced it is a myth that black men like dark-skinned girls because black men haven't gone to them. So therefore, black men must just not like dark-skinned girls. What are you talking about?
Some of you guys, I'm sorry to say, and I'm going to keep saying it. And I click some profile pictures of the people that were making this talking point. You're not as cute as you think you are. You're not. And in a lot of cases, it's really not your skin complexion. Okay? Maybe, how about this? Stop making yourself upset. Black women are obsessed with rage bait. Like, I feel like a lot of you guys purposely hurt your own feelings because you will purposely focus on the man that has a type for light-skinned women, which he is entitled to. My sub said a lot of these women pursue the archetypes of men who don't like black women. They're still mad over what Kodak Black said. Like, stop caring about men like that. They pay attention to colorist rappers and then think everyone hates them because a rapper doesn't like them. Yeah, I noticed that in general with my content, even when I have conversations about men. And normally, what's on my mind, I focus on quality men. I don't care about what Pookie is doing. You know what I mean? But a lot of black women will try to debunk my talking points by bringing up what Pookie is doing. They'll be like, that's not true. One person came to my channel and used Nick Cannon as an example. Nick Cannon? Why are you focused on he's literally diagnosed with narcissism. He has like 10 baby mamas. Why is Nick Cannon even on your mind to begin with? Why are you using him to debunk my talking points about black men? So I noticed that's what a lot of black women will do. They always focus on the men that either don't want them or the men who are just incompetent and pookies. But see, they don't realize you are talking to a woman that is solution oriented. Women shouldn't even be worrying about what Pookie and them is doing. I don't even make talking points about Pookie because Pookie is gonna be Pookie. Okay? Pookies aren't going anywhere. They're going to exist, just like how Pookishas are going to exist. You kind of just have to step over their body. But no, black women are always worrying about problematic men, toxic men, men that don't want them. No, they could never just step over their bodies. They could never just accept the fact that a man can have a preference for lighter skinned women and it not be a problem. That's not an issue. No, they always put themselves in predicaments to get angry, to argue, situations that can't be changed. What is the point of debating about what a man likes? He likes what he likes. That's his preference. What is the point of bringing up what Pookie is doing? Pookie is going to do what he's going to do. He's a Pookie. They don't know how to step over these people and focus on the mission and the goal. You know what I'm saying? Or focus on people that like them. No, they could never. That's what I noticed about them. And somebody did not like how I tend to say they and them when I talk about black women in my videos. Well, yeah, they and them is the certain types that are colorism crybabies. With some black women that come on my channel, I just noticed that you guys tend to put yourself in situations to make you upset. Like if I see that a man has a preference for lighter skinned women, what the heck do I look like making a video and debating and explaining? What the heck? He's entitled to like what he likes. Everybody don't gotta like me. I don't need every man liking me. You really only need one man to love you down. Why does every man have to like you? Like I don't get the narcissism. Like I don't get it. But no, that's what some black women will do. They go up to the man that knows that you know dang well is into light skinned women and that's in his right. And you try to pick fights and pick debates and try to persuade him and try to get him. No, just step over him and go to the people that like you. Women are just too distracted and focused on what the wrong man is doing. So, they end up always having kids by the wrong man. They end up arguing with the wrong man. They end up psychoanalyzing on their channels. And what I mean by the wrong man is, you know what I mean, everything that I just described. If he's problematic, if you know he like light-skinned chicks and you're chocolate, you know what I mean? If he is a pookie like Nick Cannon, 10 baby mamas. That's all they focus on. And so that's why they can't really relate to my channel because my channel, like, I don't know, I've just always been the type of woman to just ignore these people. Like, they're gonna exist. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I noticed that they don't do that. So, my perception bias, since I ignore those people, is I've met a lot of, pretty good stand up black men. I've met a lot. Pretty much have always, like the men that I'm not interested in, I paid them dust and I would go over, to where the professional black men were, the quality black men, the loyal black men. Like I surrounded myself around that. So I don't, have this extreme, all black men are dusties. Well, yeah, in your view, in your perception bias, well, yeah, that I mean a lot of women that say that too, it's like, well, you're dusty. Look at your mindset. Like that's why all that's in your view and all that's in your range is dust because you're dusty. Women, all they can ever talk about, the only examples that they do have, the only people that they do focus on is Pookie and them because that's all they've ever dealt with. They can't even have a conversation about quality black men because they've never qualified for it. They've never dealt with that. You know what I mean? They run quality black men off when they open their mouth, or even just by their looks. No, my channel is not the popular go-to channel for all black women because it's only a certain type that can relate to what I'm saying. Okay, ones that make good decisions, ones that are smart, ones that are intelligent. And then the rest of them, they go to those other channels. Okay, the low quality, the low hanging fruit, they go to the other channels. Listen, everybody is not going to relate to my channel. My channel, if you are some unattractive, invisible by society woman, you're probably not going to like my channel. So, like I said, go to channels that fit your plight. Why do you even click my channel and then get rage baited and get mad when you know this channel is not your storyline? I mean, go to channels where, all the women who date Pookies, who have ever only qualified for Pookies, go on those channels where they override all of their bad traits and strategize and they come up with plans and their solution is instead of working on myself, I'm going to take the same things that turn black men off, I'm going to bring it to another community. Go to those channels with the leaders that have no man to show for. They've been dating out for 10 years plus. Where is this non-black man? Where is he? Oh, the same thing that turned off black men, it also turned off the non-black men as well. Okay, y'all can go over to those channels. But on this channel, we look in the mirror on this channel. And then over there, you can come up with hood rap, feminine strategies, for the women who have only ever dealt with Pookies, they can go over there and get strategies about how white men are the answer and we don't got to work on ourselves. It's white men. They're going to be rich and give us all this wealth and we're going to be living in a mansion and we're going to live happily ever after. I mean, I've heard so many hood chicks. That's literally how hood chicks think. They really think white people equals perfection, the answer. It's literally a hood 304 strategy. But hey, just like how I never was on those colorism channels back in the day because I could not relate to their plight. I had a bunch of high quality men giving me attention, so I kind of stepped over those channels and created my own. Dark skinned women who do not get ignored in society are allowed to have a space to talk. I'm sorry, but the group thinking mentality, the we're all in this together, it needs to stop. A lot of you guys have very toxic belief systems and it's not really doing anyone any good. So overall, I'm going to conclude this video by saying this. The reason why women are allowed to have all types of discriminatory types in men, such as they can be discriminating against his height, his income, his skin complexion, even. Ooh, yeah, we don't talk about that enough. But, it's a problem when a man turns around and does the same thing, is because I feel like most women, if they don't feel adored, they start to act up. They start to act crazy. They start to turn into like femcels and start to pressure and, like just kind of bully people into wanting them, basically. But men are kind of used to going through society invisible, so they don't really they don't cause much of an issue when a woman has their own preference. But for women, it's like women cannot handle not having male attention. So that's where all of these arguments come from. Okay? The colorism conversation and pertains to dating is just another way to pressure men into liking them. Okay? That's what it is.